I don't do anything else. Drifting is all I do, you know. If I'm not working or not with my family, I go drifting. Whether I'm driving the car or whether I'm helping marshalling or whatever, I just love being involved in it. I know a lot of people hate watching. I love watching drifting. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. I'll watch anyone. Like, even if a guy's first time, I'll watch just because you can see a guy go out in the morning and he'll be terrible. And even if he's like getting one corner by the end of the day, you know, I enjoy watching that. You see how they progress. So I just love everything about the sport.
Myself and Kyle from Chisfab we were a bit bored of travelling up and down the country doing various drift events, sort of 9-10 hour drives. So we started doing some events on the Stock Car Oval, which is just next to Driftland. We were just going to sort of bring a couple of cars along and have some fun. We told some friends, those friends told some friends. We ended up with like 35 cars and 500 spectators on our first event.
You speak to any driver who was involved in Jumanji Nights and they'll tell you about how amazing it was. It really encapsulated the atmosphere, and I think Jumanji Nights was pinnacle in what is now Driftland. One week we're going round an oval and then the land gets sold to another guy, and then we think, well, that's that, you know, he's going to kick us out because he's just into stock cars, and then he turns up and he's like, no, I can't have you using the oval anymore, but I'll build you a track. So that was that.
When I first heard that it was going to happen from the venue owner, I didn't really believe him, to be honest. I thought, yeah, I've heard this before. Sort of dream come true, really, you know, having our own drift track that we can more or less use as we please, and create different kinds of events and different style, and hopefully we're going to raise the level of drifting in Scotland. When myself and Kyle were briefed with designing the track, we didn't want to just have a track that we could run, and it would get sort of monotonous quite quickly.
Got a whiteboard out and we'd actually been studying scale aerial photographs of the tracks in Japan. So speaking to guys like Phil Morrison, who we know have been to Japan, and saying, what would you like to see, what would work, what makes the tracks in Japan so good, because that's what we want, we want it to seem like Japan with your own track.
The big layout of the track, like doing the whole outer one, it was kind of daunting, a bit scary at first, but once you kind of get used to it, it's great fun. There's probably about a good 10 different layouts you could do on that small track.
And then because we have so many layouts, you can come here 8 different times and it's 8 different tracks potentially that you'll be driving on, so it just keeps the driver interest up. And then, we have a sort of slower, more technical track, which is good for getting your skills in, and then we have the fast tracks, which is, balls to the wall, fast as you can go.
One of the really good things about Driftland is Jeeks gave all the local quite good drifters an opportunity to do the drift taxi. I think it's a good way to bring outsiders into the sport. You know, a lot of folks say what's drifting, but if you got them out in a taxi ride, they sure hell know what drifting is after it, you know what I mean?
They jump in the passenger seat, they get taken around for a 3 or 4 laps thrill ride, and when they come back out, you know, I've never seen somebody come out of the car without a sort of ear-to-ear smile on their face. You know, and it also helps our local drivers. Those guys are, you know, putting the seat time in, putting the effort in, putting the money into their cars. You know, I think that will also help push the level of cars up. You know, as more and more people see that this is a possibility.
Drifting as a whole is more accepted, I think, as a motorsport. I think in this side of town, before it was like, oh, you're just farting about, but now there's a track to do it on, obviously it's going that way, being quite a big motorsport.
I'm still taken aback by how well it's went, and we've still got a long way to go. You know, one of the good things about Jeek is that if he's in a job or he's working on something and there's a ceiling, if there's only so high you can go, then he's out, because he needs to know that he can keep going. And I think that's a really good thing with Driftland, because as far as I'm concerned with Driftland, there's no ceiling. That place can just go and go and go, and I think it's really, you know, I think he's doing really well, and I just hope that I can still be part of it in years to come.